Hi there, my name is Mike, and today I'll be talking about CSS Gradients. So to get started, I've got an HTML file with just a div. I've called this just class main. And then I've got a CSS file attached to that with, that should be main, dot main with brackets. So to create a gradient with CSS, you actually need to change the background image property, which seems kind of weird and counterintuitive, but it's probably got a good scientific reason, and that's probably something like browser speed capacity with CSS or something like that. So we just type in background image, and then instead of linking a URL or an image file path, you actually just type in either linear gradient, just like this, or you can do radial gradient. There's two types of gradients. So we'll start with linear gradient. So it's easy enough that you can just type in two colors. You can do color codes or whatever. For this purpose of this, I'll just type in red and orange. And then I'll enter that. Oh, and I need to give it a width and height as well. So we'll say 500 pixels and 500 pixels. And there we go. There's a gradient. So there's a few things we can do with this. If we want it to go a certain direction, so let's say we want it to go to the top first, we just type in to top, just like this. And you can see that now it flipped directions. You can do this to any direction, so you can do top right. So now you can see it's going this way. This doesn't have to be in any particular order. You can do right top. Of course, it needs to make sense. You can't do top bottom. That won't work. It'll just bug out. You can do left top. You can also do degrees instead of 2. So let's say 45 degrees. It's at a 45-degree angle. We can do 180 degrees. Oh, sorry, you need the unit there. Degrees, just like that. So yeah, you can also add colors. So if we want to go from red to orange to yellow, then it will do that. If we want to repeat it, we can do red, orange, and so on, and it'll do this sort of repeating. Another thing that you can do is you can define how much of the space you want a particular color to take up. So let's say we want it to be red until 50%. You would just type in red 50%, and you can see that it's red. The first red is until 50%, and then the other ones just automatically change with the remaining space. We can also do this with units, so we can say 500, or probably not 500, 300 pixels, and that would be 300 pixels. You can do EM as well, just whatever unit you really want. So another thing you can do is if you want it to, instead of being a gradient, you want it to have a hard stop at some place, then if you put in contradictory percentages, so like 40%, 40%, if these are both 40%, you'll see that at 40% this will stop. You can also, so you can do this several times. If we were to do 80% for this other one, if we wanted them to collide at 80%, you can see that that is colliding with the red and the orange there at 80%. But then you've still got the gradient design in between that, which is kind of a cool effect that could be useful in certain cases. Okay, so that's enough of linear gradients. Let's go on to radial gradients. If we were to switch the current setup to radial gradients, you'll see that we're getting issues, and that's because we've still got this 180 degrees problem. And since it's a circle, you can't really tilt it because it's just a circle. So if we get rid of that, you'll see, bam, there we go. So yeah, you'll see that you can do circles pretty easily with what you've already learned. So yeah, hopefully you found this helpful. There's a lot of crazy things you can do with gradients. This video, we went over the majority of use cases that you would go through. Probably not everything. I'll put some links in the description if you're more interested in some of the more niche applications of gradients in CSS. But I think this is a great place to get started, and now you can feel good and comfortable writing your own gradients. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.